Thank you all for joining us today. For those who don't know me, my name is Dale Fraser. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Grampians Health. To begin with, I would acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we're meeting today, the Wotjabalak, the Jarba, the Java Jali, the Kaya, the Chapkok people, recognising their connections to land, waterways and the community. Pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging, and to all First Nations people here today. Grampians Health recognises and values the contributions that First Nations people make in our society. Something has never been seen, it always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Welcome to our 2024 Annual General Meeting. On your chairs, you may have sat on them, but if you haven't, there's a little card there. The cost of printing is such that we don't necessarily want to kill the environment, but if you want to access the annual report, all over there are some highlights on the back of the card as such. Similarly, there is we're about to launch a new strategic plan. There's a similar sort of card that enables people to access the strategic plan as well. If downloading a soft copy is not your thing, there's an option on there to request a hard copy, so please feel free to make use of that opportunity. Before we start today, I'd like to also briefly express two very important further acknowledgements. For those who aren't aware, the worldwide campaign known as the 16 Days of Activism is currently running, commenced on Monday. It is an initiative that aims to challenge violence against women and girls, and it's relevant to each of us. More than 1 in 3 women have experienced men's violence. Grampians Health aims to bring a focus to this important healthcare issue and provide care and comfort to those who are affected by gender-based violence. Tragically, this region has a higher than normal prevalence of reported gender-based violence. I acknowledge any survivors of gender-based violence that might be with us today. And finally, as the principal mental health provider in the region, I would acknowledge anybody joining us today who has a lived experience of mental health. We acknowledge your struggle and the stigma that is so often sadly linked to mental health, and we vow to continue to work tirelessly to bring greater awareness and equality and care to those with a mental illness. I just would begin by just, if you haven't already done so, can you please put your phones onto silence. In the unlikely event that we have to evacuate the building, exits are through here, and toilets are just out through this door and to your right. At the conclusion of today's annual meeting, there will be refreshments in this room, so please hang around, have a conversation, and enjoy a cup of tea. Located around the room, you will see a number of large blown-up pictures. These are a number of our staff who will be celebrating today, who have achieved long service awards, and I just acknowledge all staff that are here today who are receiving awards, and thank you for your ongoing commitments to our organisation. I'd like now to invite the Grampians Health Deputy Chair, Murray Aiken, to the stand. Thanks, Murray.
Thanks, Dale, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. You're probably wondering why I'm standing here today to present the annual report. It must said my name's Murray Aiken, and I'm honoured to be the Deputy Chair of Grampians Health. So I'd like to start by announcing, that last Tuesday, the Victorian Health Minister announced that our inaugural Chair, Bill Brown, had resigned as Chair of Grampians Health. She also announced that Rob Knowles had accepted the role of our new interim board chair. Rob's here with us today. Thank you, Rob. Rob's just chaired his first meeting of the board this morning, and can assure those present that the Grampians Health Board and organisation is in great hands under Rob's leadership. Unfortunately, Bill's not here today, but I wanted to take the opportunity to acknowledge Bill and thank him for the contribution he has made. Bill has made the difficult decision to stand aside from his chair role due to some challenging health issues that have seriously impacted his family this year. He found it impossible to remain diligent and devoted to Grampians Health and to be readily available to support his family if and when they needed him, which was often at short notice, hence his decision. Bill worked tirelessly for Grampians Health. His leadership and his willingness to share his knowledge will stand our health service in good stead. Bill was always willing to share his legal, commercial and governance expertise with us, and he has an extraordinary ability to digest large amounts of written information in impossibly rapid time. When we first formed as an organisation, Bill attended every board subcommittee, as well as every board meeting, not to mention a huge range of additional meetings and functions both in Melbourne and within the Grampians region. He travelled regularly to every site. He networked with other board chairs and with department representatives, and he fearlessly questioned and made observations about how to improve processes, always with the best interests of Grampian Health or even the whole health sector at heart. Prior to the acceptance of his resignation by the Governing Council last Tuesday, and after advising the board and CEO of his intention to resign, he still made himself available for any duties requiring the chair's presence. He honoured his responsibilities as chair until the last day. I'm sure Bill will be watching this when it's available online. So Bill, I think we've all learned a lot from you. We thank you for your tireless efforts, your expertise and your leadership, and we wish you and your family all the very best. As you always signed off every email or text message, warm regards and thank you from us, Bill. So now I'll return to the formalities of the AGM. Today we're joined by Karen Hislop, Mayor of Northern Grampians Shire. Karen, are you here? Oh yes, welcome Karen, great to see you here. Councillor Jenny Greenberger of Northern Grampians Shire. Yep, welcome. And members of our Edenhope Community Reference Group. If you'd like to just raise your hands so we can see it. Fantastic. Long-serving and very capable reference group. We see each other on the screen from time to time. It's great to have you here in person. We also have apologies from Tracy Hargraves, the Mayor of City of Ballarat, Emma Keeley, our local MP, Martha Haylett, MP, and the Honourable Catherine King, MP. We've also had an apology from Craig Wilding, who's the CEO of Westvic PHN. And I'd also like to take a moment at the start to introduce my fellow board members who are here today, and I'd ask them to just stand or give a little wave around the room so we can see who you are. First of all, Dr. Nick. Peter Picard, your first hat off the rank. Nick Jones, who chairs our Board Quality and Safety Committee. Avril Hogan, who many of you will know, chairs People and Culture Committee. Meg Thakkar, who's not here today, here's an apology. He chairs our Audit and Risk Committee, and Anthony Shack is also not here today, unfortunately, who chairs our Infrastructure Committee. Rianne Jones is here, and she co-chairs our Community Advisory Committee. Cora Trevathan is here. Cora does lots of, no, she's not a chair, she does lots of projects and works very tirelessly for our board. And last but not least, David Anderson, who chairs our Finance Committee. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce the Honourable Rob Knowles, who, as I mentioned, was last week appointed as our interim chair. Rob is a farmer from Clarendon near Ballarat, and he has a wealth of experience as a company director and previously served in the Victorian Parliament from 1976 to 1999. Bill pointed out this morning, Rob, I knew I was going to do that. Rob pointed out this morning that that was last century, but anyway. It's still a wealth of experience that he brings to the position. His positions include Minister for Housing and Aged Care, Minister of Health and Aged Care, and Deputy Leader of the Government in the Legislative Council. He served as a Commissioner on the National Health and Hospital Reform Commission and the National Mental Health Commission, and has previously chaired the Victorian Health Reform and Innovation Council and the Royal Children's Hospital Board, so you can see we're in very, very capable hands. His current board positions include Silver Chain, National Home and Community Health and Aged Care Services Company, Brandon Biocatalysts Limited, Beyond Blue Limited, and Great Ocean Road Health. We welcome you, Rob. We're thrilled to have you join us, and I would like to once again thank you and thank Bill. We're very fortunate to have such able chairs. Finally, to everyone in this room, I'd like to thank you all for coming and supporting Grampians Health, particularly the Edenhope site. It's wonderful to have you all here, and it's really our people that make our role on the board and make our work for the health service worthwhile. So it's really you that gets us up out of bed and gets us doing our work each day. So thank you so much for your support of the health service. Right, now we're moving on to the actual, information. It's hard to believe that it's been 12 months since our last AGM, and it has certainly been a busy year. Since our last meeting, we've launched a number of important plans that are central to how we do things. And that might sound a bit dry, launching plans, but the plans form the basis of what actually happens on a day-to-day basis. They're actually very important. So I begin with this highlight for that particular reason. These plans underpin the work that Grampians Health does and provide a solid framework from which we deliver our services to more than 250,000 people. The Gender Equity Plan, Innovate Reconciliation Action Plan, Environmental Sustainability Plan, Infrastructure Plan, and we've taken a long-term look under Dale and Veronica's guidance from 2023 to 2043, Grampians Regional Population Health Plan, the Disability Action Plan, and the Intercultural Action Plan, which is currently being developed. For more information on these resources, I encourage you to visit the Grampians Health website. So this year we have seen collaboration between campuses and departments. It's provided a real sense of working together to improve service provision and increase the number of services accessible to our community members. When we formed as an organisation only 3 years ago, we've come a long, long way towards sort of that integration. We've still got a way to go, but I think as a board and as an organisation we can be proud of the progress we've made. This reinforces our commitment to delivering services close to home, which is one of the very foundations that Grampians Health was built on. Here in Edenhope, the Health and Wellbeing Hub is an important avenue supporting the local community. 2023-24 saw the introduction of a range of new services at the hub, including a monthly cancer support group. I think there's a picture of that on one of the chairs over there. Physiotherapy classes, weekly speech therapy sessions, regular psychologist visits, access to weekly hydrotherapy sessions in Horsham in collaboration with the Harrow Bush Nursing Centre, and a loan to buy program thanks to grant support for local people to access commonly required aids and assistive equipment. Many of these programs help people stay well, and that's an important part of the work that we do. In partnership with the Orange Door, the hub has become a virtual outpost for people experiencing or at risk of experiencing family violence. Dale referred to that in his opening remarks, such an important area for us to focus on as well. More recently, a free toy library has been created with toys recommended by occupational and speech therapists, which allow children to continue their therapy at home or simply access a new range of toys for play. A transition care program has also been introduced, aimed at helping older patients get home from hospital quicker and ensure that they have all the support they need to prevent a return visit. Away from the hub, and Edenhope's Day Centre has expanded its offerings to now include nighttime activities as well as longer trips to dining spots and entertainment centres. I noticed a picture of the tri-bike over there, and the fact that the residents who benefit from that little ride on the tri-bike participate in the park run here is just fantastic. It means that our residents are actually actively involved with everyday community life. Fantastic. At our other campuses, we have seen increased ICU operational governance and oversight across Ballarat and Horsham ICUs, the intensive care units, with the aim of connecting them as one unit. This is a really important outcome for all of us if we require intensive care services. The fact that the two are now linked just increases the sort of clinical excellence that you're likely to experience either Ballarat ICU or Horsham ICU. Increased care at home, including growth in our cancer care at home program and the introduction of paediatric care at home. We know most people prefer not to go to hospital, and if we can assist them not to do that and to stay at home, we know that our recovery rates and so on and our infection risks go down dramatically. So this care at home is actually really important, I suppose, adjunct to the acute services that we provide. At completion of a 2-year elective surgery reform project through the Grampians Regional Health Services Partnership, this has looked at ways to reduce wait times, expand capacity and maximise throughput of surgical services within the Grampians region, and we're making great progress with that. And that Health Services Partnership team is very ably led by Andrew Saunders, who I think is here today as well. So thanks Andrew for your work there and all the other things you do for us in the HSP space. Another commitment we've made is to ensure our facilities are up to the task to deliver the services we provide, not just now but into the future. The redevelopment and infrastructure team have delivered a number of projects this year which do just this. Now, we probably know, particularly here in Edenhope and Horsham, that there are a lot of infrastructure projects that we'd like to see get off the ground, and don't worry, we haven't forgotten about those. We are still working on those, but funding is our constant challenge there. But the ones that we have actually got off the ground are very exciting as well. These include the opening of an early parenting centre in Ballarat, providing specialist care to parents across the region needing additional support. It's a great facility and does offer services to the whole region. A new emergency ambulatory care facility helping to ease the pressure on the very busy Ballarat Emergency Department. And 6 new eco-friendly accommodation units installed, ensuring new staff have access to comfortable and sustainable living arrangements, supporting the growth and development of the campus. As you know, housing and providing those additional services to our staff makes a huge difference to our ability to attract and retain a workforce, and we're lost without our workforce. Grampians Health aged care communities are a significant part of both our infrastructure and our services. We are Australia's largest provider of public sector aged care, and Grampians Health is committed to fostering a supportive and inclusive environment with residents living a meaningful life in our care. Activities that our residents have enjoyed include, through the Meaningful Life program across Grampians Health, include attending an AFL footy match, creating and laying Anzac Day wreaths to honour those who have served, attending the Moisten sheepdog trials, and enabling a resident the space to create a sustainable vegetable garden on site. It's very important that when we move into aged care, that life flourishes. It doesn't slow down, or maybe it does slow down a bit, but that we've still got meaningful activities that make life worthwhile, even though we've had to move into residential aged care. Residents of Lakeside Living have benefited from a new trio taxi. That's what I was referring to earlier. A generous donation from the Edenhope Marriage and Moyne team. This provides our senior residents with enhanced mobility, allowing passengers to take a comfortable ride aided by a cyclist. The trio bike is just one example of the generous donations we receive to help fund vital equipment and programs. During 23-24, all our campuses were fortunate to be supported generously by their local communities. The Stawell Hospital Foundation, YZETS and Hospital Auxiliary, the Wimmera Healthcare Foundation and the Wimmera Friends of the Foundation, the Wimmera Base Hospital Ladies Auxiliary, the Ballarat Health Services Foundation, and as we've already mentioned, Edenhope's Marriage and Moyne cycling team. I think they've got a picture as well, if memory serves me rightly. This is in addition to all our generous donations we receive from individual community members and small groups and businesses. We are enormously grateful for each and every donation we receive. Finally, I'd like to make mention of the celebrations that have occurred during the year, recognising 150 years of Wimmera Base Hospital in Horsham. Our campuses each have a rich history and deep connection to their communities, and it's been an honour to celebrate the huge contribution that the hospital and its staff have made to the community, the state and to the health system in general. From a financial perspective, while the year has certainly been challenging, there have been some key achievements. We've achieved an operating budget in a tight fiscal environment. We established a comprehensive cost containment program to enable and enhance our financial improvement. We achieved all the legislative requirements under the Financial Management Act, and we completed significant redesigns of financial reporting and governance. Again, I think everyone in this room will be aware of the financial pressure that the Victorian government is under, and Health has certainly felt that pressure as well. So I'd just like to congratulate our chair of our Finance Committee, David, and Eric, who is here as well, our Chief Financial Officer, and of course under Dale's leadership, a great effort this year to make those achievements. More information about our finances are in the annual report, so I will refer you to those. Looking ahead, we will soon be releasing the next iteration of our Grampians Health Strategic Plan, which my board colleagues April Hogan and Nick Jones will talk about shortly. We've recently joined forces with St Vincent's Hospital Melbourne to undertake a readiness assessment to inform the implementation of a shared electronic medical record, or EMR program. This would see a single patient record introduced across Grampians Health sites. No more having to answer all the same questions every single time you enter if you're transferred from one site to another. Hopefully, the EMR will facilitate that process enormously. So this would see a single patient record introduced across Grampians Health sites, as well as the public hospital facilities at St Vincent's in Fitzroy and Kew. This is an exciting opportunity to work together to deliver the first Victorian EMR that connects patient care records across rural, regional and metropolitan health services. It will also present new opportunities for staff across both health services to collaborate and define how digital tools can enable high quality care. The Ballarat-based hospital redevelopment has just entered its third and final stage. This is a huge project, a $655 million project, is building a bigger and better hospital which will provide greater service to the whole Grampians region. It is our major referral hospital for this area. The hospital is due to be completed in 2027. And in Stawell, a second operating theatre will be operating in 2025, with works currently underway and expected to be completed by March Of course, none of these achievements have been possible without the amazing work of our staff and volunteers. The dedication, compassion and hard work that is shown on a daily basis across every campus is exceptional, and it is a team we are truly proud of. I'd like to particularly acknowledge Dale and our executive team, who are very strongly represented here today as well. This applies most deeply to them too. Thank you for your commitment, resilience, adaptability and professionalism over the last year, and we look forward to working together with you all in the year ahead. And I now pass back to Dale.
That's a common occupational risk. So we move now, thank you Murray for that wonderful address, and time has only allowed us to highlight a very small amount of the many achievements across the entire organisation. But we move now into the right page. Some staff service awards, and I would just like to acknowledge we've been doing staff service awards across all of Grampians Health. We had an award event yesterday in Portion, and there's an award event in Stawell tomorrow. And I'm always continually in awe of the many years of experience that this organisation has, and the dedication across all sites and all people towards making a better community for their local community, and doing what they can, either as a nurse, an engineer, whoever, to bring about care and comfort to those in need. So this year we have 9 staff members from Edenhope who reach milestone years. And milestone years are defined as 10 years plus 5-year increments thereafter. In a moment I'll read the names of those individuals, and I'll invite them to come forward and to accept certificates and pin and looks like flowers from Mari. So for 15 years, please join me in congratulating the following people. Marie Emerton. Congratulations, Marie. Jodie Finnegan. For 25 years, please join me in congratulating Trish McInnes. Now we jump up to 35 years. We had a lady, unfortunately, say we're 50, so we've got a little ways to go still. For 35 years, please join me in congratulating Andrew Lloyd. Also celebrating 35 years is Kath McDonald. And for 40 years of service, please, which is an incredible achievement, please join me in congratulating Therese Burgess.
Well, my journey, 40 years is a long time. I can't believe this is where I am. But it actually started 50 years ago, when in 1973, the matron then asked me if I could do 2 weeks. And I'd only just finished training, and Edenhope, small town. She knew I was in town. I'd just finished midwifery and everything, and she wanted a holiday. And anyhow, she saw me and said, could you possibly come and do 2 weeks night duty? And I said, no, look, I can't. I'm getting married in a couple of months. I've got bridesmaids outfits to do. She said, that's not a problem. She said, I'll clear my office. You can have my desk. Bring your sewing machine. Hence started a role of night duty and doing a few extra activities on night duty. Going forward then in 86, and a bit of a twist in life, a path I never thought I would have to take with my kids. And I must thank Tracy and Nellie for coming. It was such a surprise to have them here today, and I couldn't be on this journey here today without them and my son Michael, who couldn't be here. There's so many changes that have happened, not just to the structure of the hospital. We only had one ward, one little office, and behind where the communication centre is, and behind that was like labour ward. Then there was a theatre. Urgent care hasn't changed much, but the doctors there were just like Bay, Dover, Flu, have just been fantastic. They were available 24/7. Anything that came in, I knew I had them in a minute. It was fabulous. We had Caesars in the middle of the night. We had appendix. We had tonsils. We had back operations, we had carpal tunnels, you name it, Edenhope did it. It was absolutely fantastic. And then there was a few changes and things stopped, which was disappointing, and especially for me, midwifery stopped. And then chemotherapy stopped. And dialysis stopped, for various reasons, and I hope nothing else is taken away from Edenhope. It's such a special place, and everybody loves it, and we need it, and we're also going to look after the doctor. He is such a linchpin to this, not only the town, but to this hospital and this service. And another thing that did stop, and it was a good thing, and you're not going to believe this, but it's in the 70s, mind you, so I know some of you can't even think back that far, but there was smoking in the hospital, and it was nothing for the nurses to sit at the desk and smoke. Anyway, that got blown out, but it also, some particular staff member would even go and sit with patients and have a smoke while they had a smoke. So that was a good thing that actually went out. But on this journey, I've always done night duty, I think except for 6 weeks, and I was asked to step in as the DON, and I knew very quickly that was not the job for me. So continued on night duty, and I could not have done it once again without my kids. They gave up a lot of stuff, I gave up a lot of stuff, but we continued. We loved it. We didn't want to be anywhere else. It was such a safe place to bring up the kids. And then with the staff, there were so many beautiful people that I worked with. I learned so much from them. To the day I left, I still learn from those girls there now and men. And particularly under Trish's guidance, we've had a great team, and Sue, we've had one another's back. It's been absolutely fabulous. So then, computers came in and said, oh my God, I've got to copy and paste, track, two screens, how am I going to do this? But we had a guru, Liz Carter, on night duty that got me through that. And then with the changes in the doctors and the doctors not wanting to, or able, physically, mentally able to work 24/7 anymore, there came a time where we now have my emergency doctor, which is a great thing to have. But for me, this wasn't the way I wanted nursing to go. And I thought, no, I've got to step away now. I just felt there was too much responsibility on me to make the right decision on night duty with nobody really beside me. You know, what if I missed something? So, you know, gradually I could see my time was up. So, but I have loved every shift except for a couple that didn't end quite right. But generally, it's been a fabulous journey. I wish Grampians Health all the best, and never forget Edenhope and what we stand for, what we've done in the past, and all the best to Trish as manager and the Edenhope Hospital and community.
Thank you, Trace. Lovely words. We're not going to bring smoking back. We also have a number of staff who aren't able to be here today, and I just want to acknowledge the following staff for their service awards as well. Carly O'Brien with 10 years, Rosemary Rudd for 15 years, Sonia Cryer for 25 years, and Vicky Dishon for 35 years. So congratulations to you. Last year, the Grampians Health Board made the decision to acknowledge staff who had achieved 40 years of employment with us with a Life Governor Award in recognition of their extraordinary service. Life Governor Awards aim to highlight the outstanding contribution made to Grampians Health by volunteers, staff members, philanthropists or community members. It is the highest award that the board offers, and it is recognition of their support to our health service and a celebration of their commitment. The early origins of Life Governors were such that they had the authority to admit patients to hospitals back in the 1800s. So all of our Life Governors, whether you know it or not, you have the onerous task of being the admitting folk to our hospitals as such. This year, as you've just heard, we've had one staff member reach 40 years in Therese, and today we proudly recognise her as a Life Governor of Grampians Health. As you've just heard, there's a little bio here, so just forgive me if I repeat some things, but Therese started her nursing career in 1969 and began working for the Edenhope District Memorial Hospital in 1975. The move home to Edenhope, where she grew up, was prompted by a tragic loss of her husband. Balancing 3 kids under the age of 7, Therese took on night shifts, which she would continue filling for the next 40 years. Therese would work through the night and arrive home in time to get her children ready for school. Often she would forego sleep to attend a school event or community meeting. Weekends were split between sporting fields, and somehow Therese was actively involved with every club, community event and fundraiser. Therese has witnessed many changes in the time of the hospital, including the introduction of computers and the sad decline of smoking, and an increase in the amount of paperwork. Paperwork is an evil. She's taken it all in her stride, describing a sense of responsibility to keep up with technology and best serve her community. Despite this, Therese's focus has always remained on patients. She describes bedside manner of building patient trust as the most important part of nursing, and this is her legacy to Grampians Health Edenhope. Kind and considerate, the 2 words commonly used to describe Therese throughout her 4 decades of service. Currently on long service leave, Therese has shared plans to retire in the near future. Therese has shaped the culture of world-class care, and for that, we as Grampians Health, along with the wider Edenhope community, thank you, Therese. Please congratulate her and join me for Congratulations to Therese and all the award recipients today for the substantial contribution that you've made to our organisation. Today's is small recognition, I know, but it's heartfelt and means a lot as an organisation to have these events and to celebrate the careers of such dedicated people. I'd like now to move into introducing board members Adel Hogan and Nick Jones to talk about something exciting that we've been working on for the past year.
Thank you, Dale. It's been my pleasure, as well as Nick's, to be the board representatives on the project to develop the next strategic plan for Grampians Health. This plan's been developed with our community and consumers in mind, and has really been led by our staff to create something that's tangible, relevant, and aspirational. The first meeting to discuss the new plan held earlier this year was the perfect demonstration of how the staff of a large organization across a wide regional area can get together and meaningfully contribute to the process of future planning and setting priorities and goals. From Edenhope, I jumped in the car with Andrew and we road tripped over to Stall, where 200 people met at the footy club to brainstorm and work together on what the future should look like for this organization. It was a privilege to watch everybody working together to determine what the future of Grampians Health will look like. Just as an aside, these strategic plans are sometimes designed by KPMGs and the Deloittes of the world, and this one was a great indication of the commitment of the staff to actually create something that they want to happen on the ground and that they're confident that they can deliver. So before we briefly talk about the new plan, though, I'll first give you a background on the current plan. So Grampians Health's first strategic plan in 2022 to 24 was launched in August, following our formation in November 2021. It provided the foundations for establishing ourselves as a new health service and determining where our priorities lay during the initial period of consolidation. It reinforced the commitments that we'd made as part of the amalgamation proposal. The work that has been done through this plan over the past 3 years has seen us form partnerships at the grassroots level, work with committed partners across the whole geographic area, ensure that the care we provide is responsive to local needs, grow our clinical services and our workforce, and provide care closer to home for our community, which has always been one of the overarching goals of Grampians Health. All of these actions have fed into Grampians Health's purpose of delivering quality rural and regional healthcare for our community through safe, effective, accessible, and connected services. And our vision that Grampians Health will be a trusted, progressive, and innovative leader of regional and rural healthcare. The development of the new strategic plan took place in 2 phases. The first phase sought input from the board, the executive team, and leaders of Grampians Health. It included executives and directorate workshops. We had consultations with over 300 staff and consumers, and it involved our consumer reference groups as well. We worked on refreshing the focus, the definition and objectives of the plan, and linking it with other internal and external plans that had already been put in place. It was then all presented as a high-level plan to the board in June. The second phase involved broader engagement to validate the new priorities, and we worked with each business area to develop a strategy on a page. This linked operational planning with the strategic priorities. We also developed standardized and transparent reporting for the progress of these operational plans. This is all fed into the final version of the strategic plan, which will soon be available. I'll now hand over to Nick, who will briefly discuss the priorities that have been determined for the new strategic plan.
Thank you. As Avril and Dale have mentioned, the report is currently in the final stages of endorsement. However, I wanted to share with you briefly an overview of the structure of our new plan. The strategic priorities have been identified, 3 strategic priorities have been identified for the period 2025 to 2019. These are our care, our people, and our partners. Our care is about delivering high quality care with a focus on consumer experience. It represents our commitment to consumer-centred care, improving services and providing the same quality of and opportunity for care across the Grampians region. What this means is that through Grampians Health, you are connected to the services that you need and can access specialist care, whether in person or virtually, remaining at home or as close to home as possible. We also place a great deal of importance on getting you home as quickly as possible with the local support to continue your care, such as right here in Edenhope with the Transition Care Program. Our people means creating the environment for our people to thrive. It's no secret that rural and regional health services are going through challenging times with attracting and retaining staff. We have ongoing international and national recruitment strategies in place to improve workforce capability, and we are fortunate to have had a number of international staff members join us, including right here in Edenhope, relocating themselves and their family to fill critical essential worker gaps. We don't take this lightly and are committed to being an employer of choice, which has included measures to build professional skills, social networks, and addressing the barriers to relocating, including the lack of accommodation in regional areas such as the eco homes in Storm. And finally, our partners reflects the partnering to improve outcomes for consumers and the community. The fantastic of this partnership is the Gary World Governance Committee, which has been established alongside Butcher Butcher and Gulum Gulum and the Ballarat District Aboriginal Cooperatives. This partnership provides First Nations leadership and guidance to Grampians Health in creations of service structures and models that support culturally appropriate and relevant care to First Nations people. Underneath each of these three priorities, there are a number of goals for us to achieve that we detailed in the plan once it's released. We have also identified 5 enabling themes that support the achievements of our strategic priorities. Without these, our strategic goals will remain out of reach. These are Team GH, integrating services, embracing technology, innovation and learning. More details on the strategic priorities and the goals that sit underneath them, and the way in which the enabling themes will support achievement for our strategic priorities will be available in the new strategic plan once it's available. At this point, I'd like to thank the Grampians community, our workforce, and our partners for their contribution to this plan. This has ensured that the strategic plan truly reflects what our priorities need to be for the people we serve, the people who provide the services, and the people we work with. On your chairs, you'll find a postcard that Dale's already mentioned that provides information on how you can access the report once it becomes available. If you provide your details on the sign-up sheet as you arrive today, we will notify you when this occurs. If you would like to put your name down for a hard copy, please see one of our staff members at the registration table, or there are details on the card on how you can request this. Thank you, and I now pass back to Murray.
Thanks, April, and Nick, and thanks for all the great work that's gone into the strategic plan refresh. As I mentioned in relation to some of the frameworks and things that we listed, the strategic plan is probably the most one of the most important governance documents that we use, and again it defines a lot of the work that we do on a day-to-day basis. So thanks for that great work on that important document. Finally, before we close the meeting, and I did notice someone looking at their watch, lunch has arrived, so I won't be very long, but we must spend a little bit of time to pay our respects to current and former staff and volunteers, board members and live governors who have passed away in the last year. And we acknowledge the contribution that each of these people has made to healthcare in our communities. If there's someone we've not acknowledged today, and it's really quite hard to keep track of across all the campuses of everyone, so please, if you're aware of someone we've missed, please let us know. Today we remember the following people. Barry Marrow, previous Stawell board member. Cynthia Knight, volunteer at Horsham and a life governor. Evan Rogers, member of the Horsham Food Services and Environmental Services Department. Jeff Steinhaus, member of the Horsham Security Team. Shireen Aisbit, Administration Officer of the Horsham Quality Team. Don Curry, past Edenhope and District Memorial Hospital Board Member. Jan Grigg, past Edenhope and District Memorial Hospital Board Member and a Life Governor. Georgie Scott, past Associate Nurse Unit Manager at the Ballarat Nursing Department. Jackie O'Loughlin, member of the Allied Health Program and member of the Allied Health Program Assistant Team at Ballarat. Jacqueline McWalter, enrolled nurse with Central Allocations Ballarat. Kate Disher, registered nurse with Central Allocations Ballarat. Les Seeley, security officer at the Ballarat Queen Elizabeth Centre. Mike Janelle, past volunteer at Ballarat. And Nicholas Moore, member of the Ballarat Emergency Department. Each of these individuals made a contribution to Grampians Health, and we honour their memories today. Well, that brings us to the end of today's formalities. Before we break for refreshments, I want to make a quick mention of the easels that you'll see around the room. Encourage you, I know people have already done this, to wander around and take a look at the stories that are featured in these frames, which includes highlights of the year to date in Edenhope, as well as profiles of some of our service award recipients today. At the registration table, you'll find the winter-spring edition of the Edenhope Community Letter and the Grampians Health Annual Research Report, alongside hard copies of the annual report if you wish to take a copy. If you'd like to be kept informed of what's happening around the campuses, I encourage you to follow our social media accounts or visit the website for our regular updates. A recording of this meeting will be available on our website by the end of the week. So I now invite you to join us for some light refreshments. We have members of the exec team and board here, so please come and say hello and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And a final congratulations to all our award recipients. Thank you.